the very people who are pointing a finger, if they were dealt this hand in life, what would they do? They would do the same thing, because if you are promoting and giving the opportunity to your son, there won't be a second thought to give someone else who's more talented than your son.
I'm very moody as a person.
Have you ever been upset with any of us on the film set?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah?
With me though, you didn't have rubbish? Huh?
No, you just said moody, that's why I thought. I thought you're moody, so I thought that probably, is there anything wrong that we have done? It's not just about putting the camera and saying action. It's about managing egos and also managing people, right?
Yeah.
Film set.
Everyone, even for an actress.
Mahima Makwana threw a tantrum.
Even for an actress, for any actor also, it's about managing egos, no?
Yeah,
Hello, today we have with us the very talented and glamorous bunch of actors from Showtime. Welcome to ETimes, all of you.
Thank you.
And my first question is actually not a question. There is a dialogue in the trailer where it says nepotism ke chehre ke piche, what we can say, piche आखिर में नकाब में outsider insider बनने को चाहता है, like that. So how far you agree or disagree to this statement? This question is to all.
Well, I think ये आपको बाहर से ये नज़रिया और नज़ारा दिखता है कि it's probably the wrong thing. It's an unfair advantage for people who are in the inside, and probably they do not give enough opportunities to people from the outside, which is far from true. There are opportunities given to people from the outside, and also the question always arises: what does nepotism mean? It means an unfair advantage given to people of the same tribe, of social circles, or which to a certain extent could be true, and it's not just for our industry. I think there are different industries where you would give and push your own family member, a friend, a person of your tribe or friend circle, and why not? I mean, that हमारी एक तरह से इंसानी फितरत है, because there are things that bleed into that, like trust, loyalty, kinship, and the very people who are pointing a finger, if they were dealt this hand in life, if genetically they were born into a family where it was a bloodline and a family business, what would they do? They would do the same thing, because if you are promoting and giving the opportunity to your son, there won't be a second thought to give someone else who's more talented than your son. आपका बेटा सबसे बड़ा निकम्मा हो सकता है, but he's your son. You would want to push him ahead, yeah. So I think that's what Raghu is trying to say in that scene.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What's your take on this?
So that dialogue is obviously right now out of context, but when you see the show, it lands perfectly, because Raghu is trying to show the mirror to the person, to her technically, and that sort of kicks off a rivalry. Agreement or disagreement is secondary, because every industry will have some sort of nepotism, and if used incorrectly, it's really bad. If used okay for the right talent, maybe it's good. But eventually, dreamers who want to be insiders will find some way to be insiders, and that's what it eventually comes down to. Yeah.
And it's also the industry having a coexistence of both.
Absolutely.
It's not an industry where there's only insiders.
Yeah.
It thrives on outsiders, or probably more outsiders than insiders.
Right. Glad today I'm sitting with all of you who have really carved your niche in the industry, and like you are insiders now, but you were outsiders some time back. Yes. Coming back to the show, what Showtime has to say, like why Showtime? What it has like?
As a show, it's a show purely about, which shows the BTS of Bollywood, behind the scenes. We must have seen several shows where we see an actor's life only, or movies rather, or how films are made. But this is purely from a side that we don't really explore in movies and shows. It's how producers function, what the business of cinema is like, how an actor is cast, or the personal life of actors and filmmakers. And of course, there is a certain drama to this show. There is a very important hook, which is at the end of episode 1, which really drives the rivalry between producers. And so it is a show about Bollywood, and I would like to say it's an authentic look at the inner workings of Bollywood, because we are from here, and we are trying to show you exactly what we've been doing and how it's done.
My next question is to Mahima. You started with television and then you made your debut with Antim. Now this is your second, I will say. After Antim, it's your first series or show, film you are doing. How nervous or excited are you? Like you have entered Bollywood and now you'll be starting your journey. So how excited are you?
I have done a bunch of things for OTT, both series and film. But to answer your question, I think I was more so intimidated by the responsibility, because it's like you're literally like, you have a responsibility that you're carrying on your shoulders, and I'm anyway extremely critical of my job, and you know, like I put a lot of pressure on myself. So definitely I look at this as a huge responsibility, and yeah, I mean, for me it's definitely kind of a dream come true situation to be a part of the world that we are all so fascinated about, to work with the makers that you've heard, thought ki nahi hoga. So I think it's an opportunity that I probably manifested.
My next question is to all of you. One thing that you all like to do on the sets apart from acting. If you're not acting, what you like to do on the sets?
I like reading. That's my thing. I think between shots, or maybe also in the makeup van, if I'm sitting there and trying to kill some time. And sometimes you have to kill a lot of time depending on the film and the project you're in. Sometimes to set up one shot, it might take probably half the day. So yeah, it's reading a good book.
I mean, as a filmmaker, we don't have time to do anything else other than thinking about the next shot or sort of being on your toes. But I think before reaching set, or like sometimes I at least tend to reach a little earlier, so there's that calm before the storm, and you want to enjoy that calmness before the madness begins. So just that. So not during, but before, yeah.
I think the toughest part, one of the toughest things for an actor to do is what do you do between two shots? Because sometimes, like Emraan said, it takes half a day. Sometimes it might take just like no time at all. But a lot of times, you're carrying that very intense emotion, and it's just a turn around, and it's just like your over shoulder. But you have to still have it, because you're giving your reaction, or you're giving your dialogues for the other actor. To stay with that emotion, I've always been a voracious reader. I read a lot of books, and it helps me a lot to stay calm. Sometimes I also meditate. I do breathing exercises. That helps me, depending on how intense it is. Yeah, a lot of times I just like to walk around and talk to my directors, and if there's writer, then I like to talk to them and understand that why and where the thought of this, what are they thinking and where it came from, and yeah.
I'm very moody as a person, so there are days where I want to maybe just
You're
sit
moody?
I'm super moody. So there are days when I want to maybe just sit in my van and do nothing, and
Kill
there are
people.
days where I want to
Kill people.
Hit people on the set.
No, probably have a wonderful conversation.
You ever been upset with any of us on the film set?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah?
With me, though,
What rubbish? Huh?
No, you just said moody. That's
Yeah.
why I
Yeah.
thought.
Isn't it like
I thought you're moody, so I thought that probably is there anything wrong that we have done?
No,
Maybe,
sir.
no?
No,
sir.
Not at
Just why don't
all.
you just shoot me?
Yeah.
Give you a gun, just shoot me.
Yeah, so speaking of Showtime, there was some I only had a day of shoot with Nasir sir, and it felt like a golden opportunity to just make the most of इतनी बातें करी मैंने उनसे shoot के बीच में, shot के बीच में, and I think Showtime के अगर मैं set की आपको बात करूँ, so I was busy just icing my foot. Because जब शॉट सर का रेडी होता था तो मेरी फिजियोथेरेपी चल रही होती थी, और there was something or the other around my foot.
My last question is to the director. You have managed a range of actors in this series, like you have Nasir sir, you have Mahima, Emraan sir, then Shriya ma'am. How difficult or easy it was to manage them or keep them?
Egos,
very difficult,
Manage
no?
the actor egos.
Very difficult. Very
That's
difficult.
one thing that I've always maintained. That's not just about putting the camera and saying action. It's about managing egos and also managing people, right?
Yeah.
Film set. Yeah, that's
As a
what it is.
director, that is. But none of them came with any ego or anything. Yeah? But, the trick is you have to
Except her with her moody.
moody.
Everyone, I feel even for an
Mahima
actress,
Makwana threw a tantrum.
even for an actress, for any actor also, it's about managing egos, na?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because yeah. Anyway, आप बोलो.
नहीं मैं बोल रहा था कि it's just a very scheduling and management thing rather than anything. As personalities, they are fantastic. So the first AD and the production, they have to make sure that they come at the same time and
Right.
all of that. Otherwise, no stress at all.
Thank you so much, and it was wonderful talking
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.